TribLive Radio presents Gladiators of the Cage. Online at GOTCMMA.com and on Twitter at GladiatorMMA412. It's time to get all the inside info on the Pittsburgh MMA scene right now, right here, only on TribLive Radio.
What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday. It is combat. There's a lot of... If you're a pro wrestling fan or an MMA fan, this is your kind of week. We just got done Wrestling Reality, which is sponsored by the awesome people at Gladiators of the Cage. SummerSlam's this week. But before we get to SummerSlam in New York, Saturday in Cheswick, Pennsylvania, it is Gladiators of the Cage. It's 18, right? GOTC 18.
GOTC 18.
There's going to be a stack card, and on the card, there's going to be all different weight classes, professional, amateur fights, but the ladies are going to be fighting as well. Nothing to mess with. She's sitting next to me. She's hot, but she can kick my ass, which that makes her even hotter.
Hey,
Pittsburgh's
I brought security so you can stay under control today, okay? I brought the Sam Squatch with me, so watch yourself.
Melissa Gasdick is here with us. Melissa, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, good. Now, you were nervous. And I just said to you, if you can go in and face some girl in a cage, you should not be nervous. If you need to hit me a few times to get comfortable, just try to pick this side. It's my bad side.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm not really violent.
You're not?
No.
All right. Well, give me your history though. How'd you get into fighting? How long have you been fighting?
I want to say it's gonna almost be 2 years in December, right? 2 years will be in December. I got into it because I'm in the military, and my one of my supervisors in the military said he knew someone who did marketing kind of for MMA, and he's like, "Would you like to give it a try?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And a few months later, I had my first fight.
Now, were you already an MMA fan? Did you ever do like wrestling in high school? Like, what was?
No, I was always an athlete. I played for the Pittsburgh Passion.
Okay.
And that's why they asked me, because they knew I was into contact sports, and I honestly didn't know much about MMA at all. And I checked it out, and I liked it. So
2 years later, she's nationally ranked, pound for pound, 7th in the nation. That includes pro fighters.
Wow.
So, and ranked number 1 is amateurs in the state of Pennsylvania. So, in 2 years, she's really been successful.
Well, what's your style? What's the secret? Do you like to stand up and knock them out, or do you like getting to the ground, or what's?
Well, you see, the funny thing about that is I don't like stand up. I actually hate it.
Okay.
But my first fight I won by TKO, and my last fight I won by a knockout.
Well, don't be modest. That was a spinning back fist. Brutal. It knocked her completely cold. If you haven't seen it, go online. I think it's on YouTube. Melissa Gasdick versus Shy Shelby. Yeah, it's impressive.
So, 2 years off and running. I'm guessing you're going to ride this train as far as it takes you, right? That's the plan. That's the goal.
Yeah, as long as I keep doing well. I mean, if I start losing a lot, I'm probably going to not do it anymore. But, I mean, why not? If I'm doing well, then why not?
What position were you the football team?
Defensive back.
Defensive back, okay.
Yes.
And you said you're in what branch of the military?
Army National Guard.
Army National Guard. Wow. Well, now I'm guessing I know you have a Twitter account and everything, and I'm sure you have a Facebook page. Where can everybody find you? And is there links and pictures and video of the fights?
Oh yeah, on YouTube. Gladiators, they always post my fights. I particularly fight for them, but all my fights are on YouTube under Melissa Gasdick. My Twitter is MGasDB for Melissa Gasdick, defensive back, and just Melissa Gasdick on Facebook. I don't have a special fan page or anything because I just don't think I'm developed enough for one of them.
Don't be modest there, as he said. You're just straightforward.
She's our Ronda Rousey.
If somebody wants to friend you, they friend you.
This is her, you know.
And if they get out of line, you block them or you get security on them.
Oh yeah.
All right, but we're going to end the video in a second, and we're going to call your opponent, which everybody can catch just on the audio portion of the show. Before we do that, we get a video. Can you give us a flex? Can you show it off? I know you're not. I know you're more on the ground. You want to stand up. You got to flex.
Come on, bring out the guns.
Bring out the guns.
That's good.
Come on. Hold it. It's like a weigh-in. Hold it.
I can't.
Oh.
Security.
Come on.
I don't want to show you off.
There you go.
Come see Melissa this Saturday, Cheswick, Pennsylvania, at Gladiators of the Cage. Make sure, again, you subscribe to our YouTube channel. All right, Melissa. Well, you're fighting Charity Walker. Now, she's coming in. Is she the one that's coming in from?
She's coming in from North Carolina.
North Carolina. So doing some traveling here. So obviously, both of you taking this seriously. A lot of prep, a lot of time going into this. Mike, our producer, is getting her on the phone in a second. Real quick, what do you know about your opponent so far?
I know she hits hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, she fought a girl that I know, and I watched the fight. And I mean, granted, that was a couple years ago, but I know she's a good striker. I know she's very good on the ground. So she's very well-rounded. I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
What's the records here, Robert? What's our comparison?
Charity Walker's 5-3. Melissa's 5-0, 4-0 right now. So, and this is a title fight for the flyweight amateur title. So Charity's coming up here to take that title back to North Carolina, and Melissa's going to keep it here in Pittsburgh. That's the game plan. These guys want this title, and a Gladiators of the Cage title, it means something from the amateurs right up to the pros. So I'm looking forward to the fight. I know there's been a lot of buzz about this fight.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's going to be an exciting fight. Well, I've seen Melissa fight before, and I know she brings it to the cage.
Well, and it sounds like it's going to be a great story just on geography alone. You being from, where'd you grow up at in Pittsburgh?
Elizabeth.
Okay, so you being right here, having the hometown crowd, and then North Carolina coming in, and just you being undefeated, riding that, so this is going to be, I would imagine that already sets a great stage, but it's got to put a little bit of pressure on you. Do you feel that pressure, or do you just not think about that stuff?
Yeah, I say this all the time. I feel like I'm kind of put on a pedestal because I am undefeated, and I have had all finishes pretty much, and I don't know.
She's getting called out now. I mean, there's fighters out there who say, "Hey, we want to fight the best."
That's when you're doing something right. Yeah.
That's it's just like everybody's calling out Ronda Rousey right now. For us, they're calling her out, and then we got Jessica Sargis, who can't wait for her to turn pro because she wants to fight Melissa. So, they're lining up because they want to fight the best.
Talk to me about your team. Where do you train at? Who helps you scout and get prepared for these fights?
I primarily train out of the Mat Factory. It's in Lower Borough, and with Isaac Greeley, Eddie Vincent. They're my coaches out there. And then I also go to Olympus Boxing for my boxing stand-up. Adam Hartman, they have a very, very good boxing coach there. And Jeremy represents Brute Squad. They have all pretty much undefeated fighters. And so Jeremy and Isaac are pretty much the shot callers for me. They're my go-to guys.
Well, we got Pittsburgh's own Melissa Gasdick right here in studio, but on the phone right now we have her opponent. Again, you can see this matchup this Saturday, Cheswick, Pennsylvania, just north of Pittsburgh for Gladiators of the Cage, as Melissa will be going up against her opponent, Charity Walker. Charity, are you there?
I am. How are you guys?
Hello,
Good,
Charity. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on, Charity. And, I'm going to give you the same introduction as we got here with Melissa. Charity, I know this is a big fight. Your opponent, Melissa, is undefeated. What do you know about Melissa and your preparation so far?
I've seen all of the videos that I posted on. I see a pretty well-rounded fighter. Seen her do stand-up, seen her on the ground. So we've just been prepared for everything.
And Charity, you're coming up from North Carolina. Are you bringing? We already talked about you're going to be going into enemy territory. Do you have a following coming up with you, or are you just going in and preparing to silence?
She's
Pittsburgh?
going in to take the belt.
Actually, I don't know a lot of people in PA, so it's just going to be us pretty much coming up. I have a lot of people who will be here who get to watch the fight. A little bit of a far drive from their family, so they won't be able to come.
Now, Charity, Melissa says she knows you're a hard-hitting striker. How would you evaluate your game? How would you evaluate Melissa's game and complete?
I would say that my game is ever-evolving from my team, so is hers. So I just think it's going to be an interesting fight, and I don't think anyone should expect one thing or another.
Melissa, you got anything to say back to Charity?
No, I totally agree.
Yeah? Yeah?
I think it'll be a good fight.
Robert, any final?
Oh, it's going to... my final word is you got to come see this fight. You're looking at two up-and-coming amateurs. You're going to see these two either in Invicta at some point or the UFC. So, to get up close and personal with fighters like this, you don't get that every day. So I encourage you to come see this fight. Or if you can't see it, watch it online at GOTCMMA.com. So, but it's one of the great fights we have in this card. And it's a title fight. So, I mean, they're fighting for something.
Absolutely. Charity, we'll give you the same opportunity real quick. Any Twitter, any Facebook, any place you want to promote people to check you out and support you?
Yeah, just check me out on Facebook. I have a fighters page, just my name, Charity Walker. The champ_Walker on Twitter. You can follow me there, and Instagram. Just search my name to find me.
Awesome. Well, we thank you very much, Charity. We look forward to Saturday, and good luck in your final days preparing and your travels up to Pittsburgh.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
So humble and modest as both of you remain, which you got to. That's the other thing I don't think people realize, and I never realized it just as a very casual fan, and then when I got to start being around MMA fighters and shows and promotions more, is realizing the sense of humbleness, and as good as you are, somebody can always kick your ass on one day.
Yeah, they're not all like that, though, trust me.
Well, you know what? They're both very humble, and they're being very nice today, but they're both on weight cuts. So towards the end of the weight cut, talk to both of them on Saturday morning.
I'll probably steer clear.
I'll steer
I'll wait until after the fight, and I'll get a hold of Melissa on Twitter.
Scott doesn't even go near them.
Well, that's if he's backing away, then we know he's taking it seriously. How do real quick, Melissa, what we have? I'm sorry, I want to take advantage of having you in here. How do your peers, how do other guys? And I mean, they're very supportive. Is there any sense of sexism or ego? Or
no, they're all really supportive. If I don't know somebody, if I'm meeting somebody for the first time, and of course the people I work with primarily guys, and they're always telling everybody that they run into, she's a fighter, and at first, guys are kind of like, no, she's not. Look at her, she's not a fighter, but I don't know. I mean, once they see, they're supportive. Nobody's ever been like, you can't do that because you're a woman. So.
Right. Well, Melissa, you got the microphone on. You're welcome to please stay. We're going to keep rolling here talking about all things MMA, especially the show this Saturday. I think we got another guest on the line. Robert, I'll let you help introduce this one here from Cage Nation TV, Albert Miller. Albert, you there?
Yes, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Albert, I'm not going to let you skirt today like you did on your show. You're going to be making predictions today, so don't be getting shy on me. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Albert Miller's from Cage Nation TV. You can see his shows on YouTube. They just did a good breakdown of some of the fights on their last YouTube episode. But I'm going to let Albert take it away, and go ahead and give us some of your fight predictions here and what you think of our upcoming card.
Well, Rob and I talked in depth about the upcoming card at the Sirius Shrine. Just heard.
It's Rob Lynn by chance.
Gasdick,
he comes all ours.
And that is one fight we are super primed for. The Queen of the Spinning Back Fist, indeed.
Again, if you haven't seen that Spinning Back Fist, it's on YouTube against Shy Shelby. Check it out.
There are three fighters I know that have knocked people out with that Spinning Back Fist. One being Shoni Carter. The other one being Matt Serra, the third being Melissa Gasdick. Not saying it hasn't happened before, but three that I have no problem spitting out immediately, which is amazing.
All right, let's move to the fights there, fella. Talk about the fight card for me.
About the
fight card at the Sirius Shrine here this Saturday.
There's a couple fights I'm really looking forward to. Dino Uklo versus Josh Fremd in particular. Josh Fremd has really made some big impact because he's tall, he's lanky. It's hard for people his weight class to take advantage or to take away his weapons of his reach advantage. That Sparta kick in particular was absolutely amazing. Dino Uklo has longer reach, has punishing power. I think it was time for those two guys to meet, and I think that fight in particular is going to come together in a big way.
It's also for a title.
I'm sorry?
It's also for a title.
Okay, well, that makes perfect sense. Josh Fremd and Dino Uklo have been on this collision course, and now it is time for those guys to meet head-to-head. And if I had to predict, I think it's going to be Dino Uklo. He's got more experience on Fremd, taking away those weapons of his reach. I think Dino's going to walk away with the title this time.
Okay, I'll move on. What other fights are you looking forward to? What sparks your interest?
Give me the prediction of the Wilkins fight. Give me the
He wants to know about the Wilkins fight.
Give me the prediction of the Wilkins
fight. First time I ever saw Mike Wilkins fight in a main event. The main event was supposed to have another fighter in it. That fight completely fell apart. That could be disaster for a card. UFC has actually canceled pay-per-views because that main event fell apart. Mike Wilkins stepped up. He said, you know what, it's no problem. I got this. And I've rarely seen a venue come apart like Stage AE did for Mike Wilkins. Mike Wilkins is taking on Rob Hanna. And what Rob Hanna does extremely well is, I saw Rob Hanna in Pittsburgh, and he's taking this beating, but he's also dishing a beating out at the same time. Rob Hanna is very good at moving from a bad position into a good position. When he gets put back into a bad position, he goes right back into the good position. That is the caliber of fight And we'd set it on Cage Nation TV, and you can see that online at youtube.com/CageNationTV, that Pittsburgh doesn't mismatch. Rarely do we see a fight in Pittsburgh that is mismatched or completely blown out.
So who wins?
Right down to the nuts and bolts of it.
Great analyst, but I want to know.
If I have to pick a winner in the main event, Rob Hanna's good, but I think Mike Wilkins is on the level right now where he's going to be taking the win home with him. Of all the guys we've seen out of the Pittsburgh circuit, their fights right before the UFC have been in Gladiators, and that's not hype machine. That's not bragging. It's actual facts. All these guys we've seen out of the Pittsburgh fight scene have come from their last fight being in Gladiators, next fight being in the UFC. And that's really what I see happening for Mike Wilkins.
And that's definitely a great test to the guys here. All right, final one last one, because we've been talking about so much of the show. Charity Walker versus Melissa Gasdick. Who wins?
Well,
Melissa left the room. You can say whatever you got to say.
She's gone.
Say whatever you got to say.
Well, we think about this long and hard, especially about the good matchups. But Melissa's just on that whole other level still. And that's not taken away from Charity Walker whatsoever. She's paying her dues. She's going out. She's getting the tough fights. She's not walking away from anybody. But Melissa Gasdick is just riding this momentum where she's training with quality training partners. She's fighting quality fights. She's making the name for herself. And with that last spinning back fist victory, momentum counts for a whole lot. And
so who you picking there?
I think she's taking a lot into the training.
So what's your pick? What's your pick, Albert?
Oh, Melissa Gasdick.
What do you think of that, Melissa?
Aw, thanks, Albert.
But I got her pick.
You knew she was still in the room, didn't you?
I didn't, and thanks, guys, but I'm glad I didn't say anything awkward.
Hi, Albert.
Okay, Adam Milstead, Lewis
Melissa,
Rumsey,
how you
real
doing?
quick. Real quick, with Adam Milstead, Lewis Rumsey, we got about 30 seconds.
Okay. Let's see, that one I think could be a draw. If you saw Lewis Rumsey fighting at Butler, you know that guy has no quit. He has no problem taking a hard shot. He has no problem doling out hard shots. As far as the co-main event goes, I can't call it one way or another. But I do know it's going to be one heck of a fight.
Skating.
That's
the easy way
That's how you
out.
make a longevity in this business. You're never wrong.
Well, that's the same thing as the weatherman.
Yeah,
exactly.
If I wanted the weather, I'd look out the window. But, come on, Albert, let's go. Come on,
well,
pick
there's one really important thing I want to leave you guys with. When I get old, the one thing I want for myself is to be known as like this crusty old guy who's seen it all. And when that day comes, I can tell you that all of my favorite memories of being young and that stuff will have been in Pittsburgh. And so if you're on the fence about going to see the card, you don't need to be on the fence. You just need to go get your ticket and go, because that main event, that co-main, and having Melissa Gasdick fight for a title, no question.
Well, that was a great hard sell as we're on our go home show.
But he still didn't pick.
He's
a great politician.
I thought he was
some balls out.
I thought he was going to say when he gets
Scott wants to say something to you.
We can hear him.
Okay.
We can hear him.
Come on, you can't be everybody's friend, Albert. This is Scott. You got to pick somebody. Grow a set.
I thought he was going to say when he gets old, he doesn't want to be hit with a spinning back fist or something.
Let's not talk. I'm still like hurting. I just seen that.
I'm going to go with Rumsey. And I know Rob would disagree.
Rumsey,
Cage Nation TV is so much fun to watch.
Beast.
As it will disagree. But after seeing Rumsey's last fight for Gladiators, I think he's got to be hungry for a win and he's willing to do the work.
Because she smells better than me, and you don't deserve that. You deserve the shirt I got on. Look at that, brother.
We're getting to that in a
You know it, brother. Yeah,
Albert, thank you.
Come on now.
Albert, thank you very much again.
right.
You can check him out.
Besides, I saw you getting a little friendlier. I almost had to call in security.
You can check him out, youtube.com/Cage Nation TV. Albert, thanks for coming on, man.
Although she's not afraid of you one bit.
We'll see you Saturday.
We'll see you, Albert. Thank you, brother. We'll see you Saturday.
All right, take care.
We're going off the tracks. Let's try to get it back on here.
geez.
Well, we're never off the track.
Him in the middle of YouTube
Look,
together is kind of
we got
freaking me out a
Scott
little
back.
bit.
Here, lift up that. Smell that? You want to smell something good?
Dude, that's some pure Lithuanian meat right here.
That's right, buddy.
Smell this. Smell the essence of
Lithuanian
manhood.
and Polish. Look at us.
Essence of manhood
He can't scare me with that because Brian Knobs, Nasty Boy Brian Knobs, put my face in his armpit this past spring. if I survive the nasty pit, then I can survive whatever's in there.
I would kill him. This is magical, though. This is like
It's a magical death.
Magical love potion right here. That's manhood and tap.
Well, just like our saying goes with the big Sam Squatch, it's sexy death.
That's right.
All right.
Before
I'm sorry.
Before we talk a little UFC and we get to our final call, So what I love, Robert's got his. You might have saw it on the video earlier. He's got his vintage, probably I think about 2006.
Yeah.
DX Army Triple H and Shawn Michaels shirt.
I love it.
Robert being a fan of WWE as well. If you're listening live,
I'm going with Brock Lesnar, by the way.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. Gag a little bit more.
That's a good pick.
Christ.
If you want to tweet me at Justin LeBar, or if you want to call 412-320-7925, whatever you can do first. Robert's going to do an impression of a pro wrestler. If you know it, and you can tweet or call in,
it's easy.
And if we'll give you free set of tickets.
It goes like this. Oh yeah.
Well, at least got to cut a promo, ass. I'm not.
What?
Cut a promo. The cream rises to the top, Robert.
You know what?
And he claims to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Was that good enough? Do you think it was good
You
enough?
know who it is.
It was great. But I just thought he would do more.
You don't know who it is. That's your problem.
I thought he would cut an entire promo promoting Saturday's fight as said person.
Oh, well, I'm not that good at
you're being too modest. All right, let's talk a little bit of UFC.
But you know, we got the fight coming up here on the 22nd Saturday. Be there. Oh, yeah. Get your tickets. Melissa.
Can't take it.
He choked me out, folks. He choked me out.
Oh, and
Genie choked me out. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Let you pick back up. All
right, well, in the UFC, we got a lot of things going on in UFC. Obviously, we have the Fox Sports 1 event Sunday, August 23rd, right after our event. It's Holloway versus Oliveira. It's going to be a good event. Tune into it. It's on Fox Sports 1. If you can get it, you can get that. I've seen out there that they're bringing into the UFC a heavyweight that's been around for years. He hasn't been on the scene since 2012, and he's a great fighter. Fedor is his name.
And they wanted Brock to fight him years ago, right?
They did, but he's actually never fought in the UFC. He fought Pride,
right?
And then when Pride fell through, he fought with Strike Force, and when Strike Force was bought out, he fought for little tiny promotions and moved back to Russia.
Why did it take so long? What took so long?
I think he was having maybe internal problems with, or maybe the UFC wasn't offering what he thought he'd get, or he just wasn't ready to, come to the UFC. But now he's the age group in the heavyweight division is mean of 35 years old. So these guys aren't spring chickens. And he's 38. He's saying, hey, I've beaten many of the guys. I've beaten the champions that are there. I want to come back. I want to win that belt. He's a very religious individual. So he sees that he can come in and probably not dominate it, but be very competitive within that division. Now, this is what I say with Adam Milstead. Adam Milstead's 28 years old. He's a heavyweight. He's a beast. I look for him to be in this division.
Milstead's the prototype.
And I look for him. Yeah, you're right about that.
I haven't figured out what a prototype actually is yet.
But anyway, with either Rumsey, which is a Bellator veteran, or this division's getting older, they're going to need to bring in young blood. That's my point. And with these two fighters, I think you could see maybe either one of them in there. But with Adam being a little bit younger, they need to bring young blood like him in, somebody that can carry the torch and bring a fan base. And Adam was very well. He can be well liked, but I can see. I don't know why they're bringing him in. Maybe it's he's a fan favorite, this Fedor, and people love him.
He probably dropped his price,
and he might have done that as well. But nice. You got to do something for this division. It's in my opinion,
they need to develop new stars. It sounds like younger stars.
Yeah.
And all right. Enough of the UFC. I'm gagging myself over here.
What is it? You don't like UFC? You don't like WWE?
He doesn't like anybody.
I like the UFC. I like
security.
But we have Adam the prototype. Milstead should be on the phone, and Lewis the Beast Rumsey. They're going to be squaring off.
I don't think he has him.
Lewis is on.
Oh yeah, okay.
Milstead's not answering. He's getting his nails done or something. I don't know.
We got Lewis on the phone, so let's get him on here and see what he's paid. The Beast.
Lewis, you there?
Yeah. Hello, guys.
There he is. What's going on, man?
Don't listen to anything Scott says.
Not too much. I'm just ready for this weekend.
Talking about the weekend, talking about the fight, talking about the preparation and your opponent.
Yeah, I've been training real hard since my last fight against Dan Spone, man. I'm just ready to get back in there and just have some fun. Adam Milstead, he's a tough guy. I'm ready to get in there and show him, that it's my time. It's the Beast's time.
Lewis, what would you say? What would you declare your strength is? Your best asset in that cage?
My strength, I would think my ability to take a hit and come forward.
I agree.
I love to stand up. I love to strike, but I also have I have ground game too. I've wrestled my whole life, and I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt. So I mean, I'm well rounded, but yeah, my best asset is take a punch and come forward.
I seen him fight. He fought who was in the UFC, Chris Dempsey at Stage AE, and this guy he's a big guy, but he can kick. Okay, he kicks.
He moves well.
Chris kicks Dempsey in the head, breaks his foot in the second round, and still finishes that fight with a broken foot. So for as far as toughness and being able to maintain, he's the beast. He can do it. He's got the will and the heart to do it.
Lewis, what would you say is the best strength of your opponent, Adam Milstead?
I would say his power. He's incredibly strong, and he can knock you out at any time. So I got to watch that. And he does have good wrestling too. So I mean, if I hit him with a nice kick, I wouldn't be surprised to see him come in for a takedown.
Does he have a weakness that you would share with us or identify? You think that you could exploit?
Quit picking stuff out of my hair.
I think I can take him anywhere the fight goes. I mean, if it goes to the ground, I think I have the submissions that can put him away. And if it stands up, I know for sure that I can knock him out at any time.
Very good. Robert, you got anything else for him?
Well, no, I mean, I know he's preparing for it. Lewis is always training, either going to jiu-jitsu tournaments. In fact, he was just at a tournament, and he did very well at it.
He kicked ass at that.
He did. And, and I know he's prepared, and Lewis, and he comes to fight, and I'm looking forward to it. And I know his team's out of Williamsport, so he can give a plug for his team because he's got other teammates coming with him.
Team Vicious. I mean, Team Vicious. I think it's like the D-Day for the Beast. This is his moment, man.
It is. This is his moment.
I think this is going to define who he's going to be for the rest of his career. Not that you're on the phone. I'm talking.
He's got quite a few more fights than Milstead, and more experience bringing into that cage.
Absolutely.
So I think he's coming to prove a point that that he's here and he's here to stay with GOTC.
Lewis, give us your final plugs. Social media, where people can find you, support you. Go ahead.
People can hit me up on Twitter at Lewis Rumsey MMA. Facebook at Louis the Beast Rumsey, like my fan page, or Instagram at Louis the Beast.
I would say hashtag Green Mohawk too.
Hey Beast, what's your call on the Melissa Gasdick and Charity Walker title fight?
I really don't know much on them, but from what I've been reading, from what I'm seeing, Melissa looks like a tough fighter, so I would have to go with her.
Oh,
way to try to rope him into
Charity Walker's going into enemy territory.
Charity is still listening, I'm sure of it, because she's probably listening to it live. So, Charity's she's taking all this in.
She's not weak. Charity Walker's coming up here.
Melissa's in studio. That's why Scott was trying to rope you into radio entrapment here.
And he's good at it, believe me. But we got security here, Lewis. We'll throw him out at any time.
Oh, Sam Squatch. Anyway.
All right, Lewis. Well,
Rums, hey, we appreciate it. We'll see you soon, man.
All right, I'll see you guys Saturday.
Hey,
yes, sir, buddy.
All right, well, you guys got some shout-outs. I know this is 5 days away. Are you ready? Everything you got to do?
He's got like 2 pages of...
I don't have 2 pages. No.
Thanks to the parking meter for not ticketing me.
I do have a story, but I know you're not going to let me tell it because it's a good one.
I want to thank my 6th grade teacher and the lunch lady.
They're on there.
And on my way down, I hit a bug. I want to say sorry to the bug's family.
Well, you should have seen his face when I was coming into the windshield. It's like, splat.
I effing knew it. I knew it. Look at
all right, anyway, if you can't get to the fight itself, you can watch it at several locations. We've been adding locations, and if anybody's out there listening and has one of these locations that wants to stream this, we are offering it, free to stream at your venue or your restaurant, your bar. Make sure to give us a call. You can call Scott. His phone's on all of that.
Read it, Robert.
All right. Well, anyway, here, you read it then. Here, read it.
I don't want to read it.
Well, here's the other part. Here, you read it. Read it. Starts right there. Here, Scott's going to read it to you.
And try to sing it to us. Try to give it a little rhythm
Scott,
to it.
sing it, buddy.
I can't. Now I'm being shy. Now I'm blushing.
Well, that's...
All right, you can watch, obviously, our fights at the Borough Bar, Twisted Jimmy's, Mel's Pizzeria. Let's see, where else? Cadillac Ranch, Black Bull Saloon. Grubbs Sports Bar and Grill, which was a really good sandwich I just ate, so that's really good. In the Sidebar, wherever the hell the Sidebar is. Katanning. Where's Katanning? Is that Pennsylvania?
Katanning's north of here.
Oh, that's Amish country, Katanning.
I love Katanning. How many times I keep telling you that? We just got a new school called the Riverhawks.
Scott, which village claims
great.
What's that?
Which village claims you?
None.
Where are you from?
None.
Pittsburgh.
Some
running
some
water
little
and
village in
running water,
Africa with the
electricity,
pygmies. That's where it's at.
Look, you can tell the difference
he hangs
between-
out with the pygmies
Look how hairy
only
he is.
because
Look at
he's so white. They
Look
treat him
at
as
this.
a god, and he's so tall that you know.
He's the only guy I know who
Move
gets his
to
hair
Africa.
cut and his arms, maybe his legs too.
No, I got hair on my legs. Look.
But I would like to thank, obviously our staff, me truly, right there. Obviously Tracy that puts up with him, that's his wife.
Tracy,
Morgan and Jenna, who are
my kids,
little hell kids.
Which
Dan Bogan, Tom Scherf, Todd Still,
my one child, my oldest one, had a ground
Randy,
car.
Phyllis, Sam Schmiedel, a.k.a. Sam Squatch, Josh Cromer. Well, Cromer really doesn't do anything, but we'll throw him in.
Josh does a lot.
Chad's
Hey, Josh, I know you're out there listening. You do a great job, Josh.
Cut Run Studios, The Bearded Buck, and so on and so forth. Also, we'll be streaming this fight live, so if you could watch it on Facebook, Twitter, obviously on our website, that's essentially it's up. GOTCMMA.com. And security. You can watch it. Stream live.
Well, that's your go home show. Big again this Saturday. Can't say enough. If you can be in Pittsburgh, you missed. I'm 3 feet from you.
Well, if you want to give us a prediction, hit us up on Facebook. Tell us who you think's going to win the fight. It's
next
these
Tuesday.
fights,
Next Tuesday's going to be
posted.
big. Not only next Tuesday, I'm literally landing it back in Pittsburgh within an hour before I got to jump on a talk SummerSlam, having been in New York, and then I get you guys.
I'm jealous.
Tuesday's going to be a train wreck. I can feel it coming.
If you have any questions regarding
Remember,
tickets,
I got friends on the Parkway.
Yeah, I might have
You
to hit
understand
that.
that.
Yes,
Okay.
tickets or more information, give me a ring, 412-403-8954.
And that's his
If you're a
personal
single
phone?
lady, feel free to call and text me.
Or if you're a single guy, too.
Or if you have a wicked spinning back fist, hit him up. That's TribLive Radio. To take him out. I mean,
take him out for me, Melissa.
TribLive Radio.
Take him out for me, Melissa.
TribLive Radio.
Take him out for me, Melissa.
TribLive Radio.
Take him out for me, Melissa.
TribLive Radio.